Hey, Plant Pals, Mike the Kid Gardener, and today's my T-Nog 2025 garden season wrap-up. It's, geez, it's today. My watch. It's October 23rd, 2025, and even though I've had a couple frosts, and we're supposed to get down to below freezing tonight, so tonight's pretty much the last night. I gotta make sure I empty out any things that have water or anything in them, because like my fountain and stuff, because they'll freeze up. But as you can see, my amaranth is still looking pretty since that last giant organza bag, wedding bag harvest. It's still kicking, but like I said, after tonight, it probably won't. I'm shocked that some of the stuff actually is still surviving. Anyway, on to the questions. Did you eat and preserve from your garden? Well, yes, I have. Ate the leaves of the amaranth. Been eating the lemon balm, and I got some mint down here. Been eating that. Grew some peppers, lots of basil. That's the last of my my broccoli. It's like a giant. See, this is my last of my harvest. I'm been doing some cleanup. I'm gonna get the rest of these broccoli leaves because they're delicious. But yeah, I've been eating, preserving, froze a bunch of ground cherries. Been making tons of collards and tons of broccoli dishes. There's my that's a I think that's a purple lady bok choy, but it doesn't look purple to me. It's got the leaves, so I'm not sure. Maybe I've got the wrong seed in there. I do have some over in the other part of the garden I'll try to show. Did your garden meet your expectations? It exceeded them. I had a lot of good stuff, although I only had a few squash, and I only had a couple peppers. And typically I'm the pepper guy. I normally grow a ton of peppers. I planted 30 varieties of peppers, 15 varieties of squash, and only got a couple of each because it was rainy, dark, and then it was super hot, so it was like not really conducive to growing. My that's the last of my kale. I'm eating a ton of that. So yeah, my brassicas really showed off this year. And I had like volunteer lettuces and stuff. What was your favorite fruit or vegetable you grew this season? I'd have to say my favorite was the ground cherries. I just love them. Let's come on there and grab them. Great snack. I did grow a ton of garlic, which I was really happy. Did you dedicate enough time and effort to your garden this 2025 season? I've been busy, so not as much as I would love to. I could really battle the pests and stuff more if I had the time and dedication. Like my sweet potato harvest was awesome, but there was like tons of like chewed up ones, so next year I'm gonna do better. Did you learn more about the fruits and vegetables you grew this season? Yes, definitely. And I also learned the lesson of making sure you're checking every day. So I saw a bird flying in my garden. Anyway, getting distracted. What major changes will you be making in your 2026 garden? Like I said, I'm gonna be better about the pest prevention. I did pretty good this year. I actually did get squash where I didn't last year, so I'm happy about that. But can always do better. What vegetable and fruits do you struggle with? Like I said, the squash vine borers got all the squash that I grew over there, and but it didn't over here. So that just tells me that's the good side. I don't have to really go through this soil and put some diatomaceous earth and stuff before the ground freezes super hard. What fruit or vegetables grew in 2025 but not grow in 2026? Maybe the lemon balm, because I got a ton of it preserved, but it smells so wonderful in the garden. It makes the garden smell awesome, so I probably still will. We'll see. I really can't think of anything else that I won't grow. Like I said, like my marigolds and stuff took over. That's my pepper bed there. They took over. But the peppers had plenty of time to grow before they took over, so, and they're a great pest prevention. Same thing with tomatoes. I did okay with the tomatoes. Been eating pretty much every day. So yeah, can't really say that I won't. What pest or disease you had in your garden, and how did you handle it? I had a ton of rabbits. You know, they don't eat my stuff, but they love to like nest. They sleep in there, and so they'll kick out any seeds or whatever, just to burrow down. And to stop that, I caged everything. So you see, everything's been caged up. So I have no excuses now. So it keeps the squirrels out, even though they're pretty good boys and girls. They still occasionally they love to dig. And like someone dug some of my garlic out and planted it in my neighbor's garden, which is fine. But it's just kind of funny. So I'll cage it up even better. And like up front, where I let them kind of run amok, they didn't get any flowers because they kept digging them out. So I'll use a tub like this and drill holes and then wire a cage over the top of it so that they can't get to it, so that it'll allow the flowers to have a fighting chance. Will you have a vegetable garden in 2026? Definitely. What vegetable fruit grew beyond your expectations? Probably these collards right here. Look at this tree. I'm in Zone 4, Minnesota, and I never thought I'd have a collard green tree, and it's still kicking, even though I still got growth in the center, even though we've had frost already. So you can see I've just been harvesting, and then I got a nice little final harvest right here. Those are my collards, and like I said, I'm going to grab the broccoli, bring it. Did you reduce your grocery bill because you have a vegetable garden? Definitely. Didn't have to buy any greens. Had snacks. I have like 4 acorn squash on my shelf. I've got a ton of sweet potatoes that are curing. I got a ton of onions right now that I'm probably going to grab a bunch of those. I didn't have to buy like any onions this year to cook with. I didn't have to buy any, like I said, no greens, because I had a ton of greens to eat. I've got big giant candy roaster squashes downstairs curing. I had tons of basils and all kinds of stuff. So I didn't have any problem going grocery shopping in my own backyard, which is the point, which is really awesome. All right, so those are the 12 questions. You can go to, I'll put a link to the questions, the live that has the questions in the description, so you can answer your own. And plus I'll take a picture of it. T-Nog's garden wrap-up. It's pretty cool. It just says, thank you for recording the T-Nog 2025 garden season wrap-up. My pleasure. And of course, it's always fun to look back and see what was going on. I have a very small yard, but I was able to produce a lot of good food. Then honorable mention to back there, I had mustard growing. I had a ton of mustards, which was really cool. All right, that wasn't too bad. That was quick. I'm gonna get back inside. It's chilly. It's like, well, it's not too bad right now. It's like 50. But like I said, tonight's supposed to hit 29 degrees, and that's pretty much the entire week. It'll be 40, 50 days and 20-degree nights. So that will pretty much be, unless we get a bounce back, but even then, everything probably will be dead by then. But we'll see. This is all bonus stuff. Like I said, I've been harvesting a ton of collards and all kinds of tasty things. All right. Any comments, questions, leave in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day. Yay, summer garden.